Hello, hello, hello. I hope all is well with you guys this evening. I stated on my last video that I was going to come back, and people kept asking me, okay, when? I said, okay, I'm here. So, hello, Matthew. So, I'm here to be able to connect with you and talk to you about the book. About the good book called Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. So many people kept asking me more about this book, what's been circulating on social media. So feel free to invite your followers so I could be able to answer their questions, and I'm going to give you more information about the book I just wrote, which is doing absolutely amazing. The testimonies are blowing me away. Smile. I do smile. I do smile. So, hey Keisha, how are you, honey? I see that you got your book. I see you posted it on Instagram. Thank you, dear. So Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. It came from a prayer that I had for my children, years ago. And I never thought that prayer will turn into a book. And the book has, I've been holding on to this book for 5 years. For many reasons. Sometimes we are too afraid to share our story. We are too afraid of how people will judge, too afraid of the backlash, too afraid of feeling like you're not enough, like your message does not matter. In actuality, it really do. But we are human, right? We are human, and we question so much about ourselves. And so when I decided to go ahead and write this book, it's been absolutely amazing. It's been an amazing experience because I got to know more about me. I got to know more about how much I've grown and how much I have to offer so many other people who constantly come to me for advice. And so Breaking the Cycle speaks about relationships. A lot of times people continue to get into these relationships and they wonder why they keep running into these knuckleheads. I mean, I just got to say it. I don't know how to sugarcoat it. They run into these knuckleheads because they have not learned how to date themselves. That's important. That's very important. You should be able to know who you are and what you bring to the table before you go out there expecting somebody else to give you something that you're not willing to offer. I'm just saying, you cannot expect somebody else to be able to provide you your worth when you don't even know your own worth. You cannot expect anybody to be able to love you when you're not even loving yourself. You cannot expect somebody to be able to take you to the high class places in life, but you only take yourself to McDonald's. You just got to be honest with yourself. And so if you constantly keep accepting average guys into your life and you run into knuckleheads and you're happy for the moment but miserable at the end, and it constantly keep happening, then you need to sit back in the corner somewhere and learn how to love yourself, know your worth, find out why you keep running into these relationships, and so you can be able to have a better relationship. Because I believe that everybody deserves to be happy. I really do. Everybody deserves to be happy. That's where you are right now. Yes, fall in love with yourself. I love myself so much. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody could take that away from me. I have no problem with going to hug my pillow at night. I have no problem with taking myself to the best high class place. I have no problem with treating myself. I don't question none of that anymore. Why? Because I know my worth. I'm not going to allow anybody to come into my life who cannot bring more to my life to be able to push me, support me, pray for me, and all of that good stuff. I'm just saying. So if you feel that somebody could benefit what we're talking about here, go ahead and share it. But oftentimes, people continue to get in these relationships and miserable. They are miserable. And as they say, there's so many women that's bitter. Well, that may be true. We carry a lot on our shoulders, but at the same time, we need to be able to know that we some strong women. But take a moment to get to know yourself. Get to see what's the most tender spot in your being that makes you smile without a man or a woman, whatever your preference is, to be able to say, this is what I deserve. No. Know what you deserve. So when you run into that man, you will know what real love look like, feel like, and you will want more of it. Because why? You know you are worth way more. way more. So it's very important to be able to take that time out. And so when I wrote that chapter in my book, it's called Would You Date You? Hello, Sharon Honeybun. Would You Date You? That meant a lot to me because I had to learn that process all over again, because I grew up in a place where it was so much dysfunction. You just with somebody to be with somebody. And so that's what you think that's what it's supposed to be like in your own personal relationship. In reality, that's not what it should be like. If that person is making you miserable, you crying at night, you waking up crying, you fighting it, you doing everything else, and you still miserable, you want to grow, but you choose not to grow because you're afraid of what that person may say, or you feel that person may leave you, let them go. That means that person is not for you. If they got to control you, if they want to know your whereabouts, but you don't know their whereabouts, you have to make a decision. What you want, what you're not going to allow. It's not going to be perfect. But you got to know that it's got to be better than what you're experiencing at this moment. And so that's where the chapter came from. Would you date you? So take the moment. Date yourself. And I'm loving the fact that I dated myself so much. So now that it's time, and I believe it's time for me to be able to be in a relationship, because I know what I'm not taking. I'm not settling for. I know what I'm worth. I know what I bring to the table. You know? So, yeah. I'm okay with that. So that's one of the chapters in the book, Would You Date You? Another one is the power of forgiveness. A lot of times we continue to go through life and we're miserable. We are some bitter people because we allow somebody else to tell us that we're nothing. And now we carrying that hate towards them. And now we're putting it onto somebody else, even though they didn't do it. But that's what we're doing. Honey, say it again, Sharon. And so what are you going to do? Are you going to take on their mess and make it your own mess? And now you're going around doing the same cycle of mess like them? Or you're going to have to learn how to deep down in your soul to be able to forgive them. Because it could be intentionally or it could be unintentionally. It all depends on that person. But you got to understand, you got to take back your power. You have to take back your power so you can be able to truly know that you have to be free from whatever they done gave you, which you now know you are worth way more. Okay? Bag lady. I can't. Exactly. So you have to be able to just say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm going to love you. I'm going to love all of you. Every being of your body, the good, bad, and the ugly. But however, I'm going to love you from a distance. And you have to be okay with that. Don't apologize for just going ahead and just say, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to try to play these mind games with me and continue on controlling my every move that I make in my life. So now I cannot move forward. And then I'm turning around miserable just like you. No. Love them and love them from a distance. Their issue is not your issue. Take back your power and move forward. So that's power of forgiveness. And the one other book chapter that I have, hey Jennifer, another chapter that I have in the book that means, oh my goodness, it's interesting. It's called Dear You. And Dear You is something that came out of like the blue. And sometimes, have you ever had this person that came into your life who's just turned around and played like the victim, but in reality, they want to act like they always been there. They talk so much mess about you, treat you any kind of way, but they supposed to be the main important people in your life as you go along this journey of being a parent or in a new entrepreneur, like I'm an entrepreneur, anything to support you. But for some reason, they got every excuse as to why they didn't play their role. Yeah, that's Dear You. So Dear You was based off of, I was going through something at the time, and all I knew, God woke up, he said, Dear You. And I said, who is Dear You? I don't know who Dear You is, but let me listen to it. So I'm writing Dear You, and when I took a step back, I said, wow, that's interesting. Oftentimes, people want to be able to say, you know what, I've been there, but really, we know the truth. You was never there. So now you see all the amazing things that's taking place in my life. Now you want to come back into my life and ask me what I've been doing all my life, when you should have been a part of my life, but you choose not to be a part of my life, but now you want a piece of my life. I'm just saying. So that's where Dear You come into play. So Dear You was basically saying, okay, I'm going to ask you a question, what I've been doing all this time, but really, I flipped the script at the very end, and they was asking the wrong question, but you need to be asking me, do I really truly forgive you? And it's basically you writing a letter to that, whoever that person may be, who puts so much into your life in a negative aspect when it should have been positive. And now you're releasing all of this mess off of you so you can be able to move forward and live your best life. So those are some of the chapters that's in this book. It's 7 chapters. It's not huge because people don't read. I got to be real. We understand that. A pattern of consistent must be. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It could come from family. It could come from friends. You just never know. But it happens. And so when I wrote this book, I gave you a piece of me that was so broken on so many levels, but I didn't want my children to feel that pain. I didn't want my children to have to go through this unnecessary hardship that I'm going through. So I took the hit so I could be able to be broken in order for me to be blessed. And so what it did, it wound up allowing me to be able to put my heart and soul, my blood, sweat, and tears into this book to be able to share this message. As we will say, it's a mess, so I can't share it. No, it's a mess of a message that now is changing lives. And so that alone, that's how you get Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. And so you too can be able to get your copy of Breaking the Cycle of Brokenness. I am personally autographing all the books that come through. And so go to my website, InspiredByVanessa.com/author, and you can be able to get this book. And so it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If you have any questions before I get off, feel free to put the questions in the box and I will answer those questions. But it's a self-published book. I had no clue what the heck was going on. But once this book went out, my nerves was bad. It was shot. It left the building. It was just like, wait a minute. But there's a saying that if it does not scare you enough, if it doesn't make you want to tinkle on yourself, then it's not big enough. This is so big because I'm giving you a piece of me. Sharon, thank you, love. I'm giving you a piece of me and my story that I no longer brush under the rug. I no longer apologize for. I no longer make excuses for. I no longer live in that life. But I did the work so I could be able to prove it so my children don't have to take the hit. And so many other people could be able to move forward and know they are not alone in this journey of being broken or to be ashamed. People have been inboxing me and with their messages or sending me text messages and just telling me and sharing like deep stuff. And I'm just like, wow, you trusted me that enough to be able to share that with me. And with me sharing my truth with you is like, that's what it's about, to be able to help other people. That's it. That's all. Because somebody is waiting for your message. And it will be shame of me if I choose not to share my message with other people in hopes to help them. It's not about, oh, I need to be in a spotlight, because most of you guys know you don't see Vanessa on Facebook Live like that. But more people keep connecting with me. So I want to be able to give you more answers and ask more questions or what have you, because I am all over social media, but just not live social media. So you may hear me on the radio, you may see my posts, my inspirational messages, my blunt statements, but because I know this journey and I know it was not pretty, it allowed me to be able to not have to punch somebody else's clock. It allowed me to be able to help other people so they don't have to work for somebody else for the rest of their life. It allowed me to be able to speak on stages and to be able to pour into those people that's waiting to be healed. It allowed me also to be able to just be able to have my time back so I could schedule my own time. I want other people to understand that it's possible, but you got to be willing to do the work. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Is it worth it? Oh, yes. Absolutely worth every sweat, every question I had in my head, every prayer that I needed answered. It was so thank you so much, Sharon. It was so well worth it, and I just thank God every single day. So this is my message to you. Feel free. Go to my website. Get the book. I'm putting the message in every single book, and I'm just looking forward to hearing your testimony and what you have to share about what you read from the book, and to be able to know you don't have to walk this walk alone. So Be happy, be blessed, be bold, be unapologetically. But most importantly, be you. There's no other person like you. Just be you. And that alone, people will respect you for just being you. So I come with you hair pulled back because I want you to get me. I don't have to have the makeup on to be able to put on a front. That is not me. Okay, inbox me, love. Inbox me. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. And this is just to be able to help more people. I thank you guys so much for your time. I said I was coming on at 8:30. I might come back tomorrow. Depending on my schedule. But I love to be able to connect with more of you guys. So feel free. Inbox me. Send me a message. I don't bite. I really don't. So be blessed, guys. I will talk to you later. In the meantime, between time, walk in your best life ever is waiting for you. I'm old. Yo, you are not old. You are not old. You truly not. But you know, your testimony was your test that you had to go through. Just like our mess is a message that we have to share with the world. And so that alone, somebody's waiting on you as well, Miss Sharon. Somebody's waiting on you. So let's connect. Talk to you guys later. Be blessed. Bye-bye.